All right, now I got a question. A real question. And it probably applies to everybody that don't understand yet. Are you still, after all this time, going through everything you've gone through, waiting on the sign from God, waiting on the word of God to tell you, to assure you with a plan, with a goal, or you still waiting on something to fall in your lap? If that's you, if that I just described as you, I got something for you. Every day you wake up, you should be observing your thoughts. Don't wake up and pick up Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, check your text messages, nothing. Because as soon as you do that, you let the world into your God body. And now your thoughts aren't your thoughts. Your thoughts is a collection of everybody else's thoughts in one. So now, in a sense, you're listening to the devil because those aren't your thoughts. Your thoughts are what's best for you. Their thoughts is what's best for them. So if there's 10 collective thoughts in your head from them, now you're doing what's best for everything outside of you, which is an abomination to self. Because it might not be directly hurting you, but it's not directly helping you either. So, if you're waiting on a sign from God, from the Most High, from the divine, see how the devil try to distract you. You need to listen to yourself. God gives you a sign every day, every morning, every night, every evening, all throughout the 24. There's never a moment God don't give you a sign. I always bring it back to, matter of fact, I'm gonna change it a little bit. Let's take it to your job. Every day you go to this job, you be like, today's the day, dog. I'm walking out today. Today's the day. I'm not going in today. I hate this. But the only reason you still do it, because I do understand it, because you have bills and you don't want to take that leap of faith of quitting a job, can't find a job, evictions, lights go off, water, car repossessed, baby kicked out of daycare, all the nine, right? So now, if you know your heart has such a strain in it to not be there, now you have to take that step and find something else, whether it's your own avenue, another job, whatever it may be. But you have to go hard to find a replacement so you can move on from it, because your heart keeps telling you this is not for you. And that's God speaking. You can look at it as your God, and that's you telling you what's best for you. Or you can look at it as the Most High is putting that in your spirit to be placed in your consciousness or subconsciousness to make you uncomfortable, so you will go and move and push. Discomfort is a superpower, because discomfort makes you move. If you're sitting in a literal hot seat, you won't get up and go. But the seat is cozy, if it's warm, if it comforts you, you just gonna sit there and be stagnant, complacent, right? You can't be comfortable when you know you're not happy. You know, it's real hard to do. I've tried to do it. I've tried to subject myself to places that I know don't serve me, and I can fake it for this long. So are you still waiting on God? You might be waiting on God, you know, but are you really listening? Like my grandma used to say. Well, I used to ask her. She used to always say she hear from God. And I'm like, Grandma, what God sound like? You will know when you hear the voice. That's what she said. You will know. It's confusing because as a kid, I have an imagination. So God started to sound like all of my favorites. Bugs Bunny, Scooby-Doo, SpongeBob. The voices that are entertaining becomes the voices of God in my head, because that's the outer influences that I let in. And as a kid, you let everything in. You're just soaking and soaking and soaking. So the voice of God gets obscured over time. So the message is to clear out those distractions. And not clear them out. It's a world around us that we in this physical can't get away from. But you have to at least limit it. You have to be in a more positive space, in a place in your life where you can hear yourself. You'll start hearing your own voice in your head. That's when you know it's not the quote-unquote devil. It's not the evils. Because one thing for sure, let's say this. If somebody walked in front of me right now, disguised as a loved one, depending how well you know that loved one, I'm running out of light, y'all. But depending how well you know that loved one, it's either gonna be easier or harder for the devil to trick you. But ultimately, if you know that person, you will know that it's not them. It's an imposter, right? But it's still a possibility that they could trick you. Now, if I get back to light pretty soon, but if you run into an imposter that looks like you, sounds like you know one thing for sure, you know for sure that it's not you, because obviously you're you. You should know thyself, right? The devil will never try to trick you as you. So when you hear that voice in your head, you know it's not the devil. You know it's not misleading you. That's the voice, that's the words, that's the guidance of God. So if you are still looking, still searching for a sign, listen for yourself. Listen to yourself. Listen for that inner voice. And once it tell you to move, make the move. Once you procrastinate, you lose it. Because it was for that time and that place, that right now. The voice of God, God is not a past or future God. God is a present God. So when you hear that word, you make your move right there.